Welcome back everybody to this. Still not sure what this is, but today I'd like to talk about Rilakkuma Kaoru-san, or for you non-Japanese speakers, Rilakkuma and Kaoru. So now you know to means and. Alright, let's get into it. So what caught me about this show right away is just by looking at it, you can tell that it's stop motion animation, and we don't get this at all in anime. This is probably because it's super expensive to produce stop motion, with most stop motion animations only going to about 6 to 10 minutes, like these little shorts between TV shows, or if there's like a movie like Wallace and Gromit, the movie's only like 60 minutes because it takes a really long time to produce or to animate these scenes. For example, in this scene here, Rilakkuma climbs up the stairs. It takes them like what, 24 hours to produce these 10 seconds. You know, real expensive stuff. Not to mention that just after you do the stop motion stuff, you have to do the editing, you have to put in the special effects to make it flow well. So, you know, it's a lot of work. So the story follows Kaoru and Rilakkuma and a bunch of other characters as, you know, she goes through her everyday life, and then she works at her job, and it follows her out throughout like a whole year and touches on some of the more important parts. And it's about like it's got some little messages, like the episode's trying to teach you like a lesson type deal. And you know, this is quite interesting, and this got me thinking, how does a show like this exist in 2019? No, don't get me wrong, I'm not like hating on the show. What I'm saying is anime is extremely I wouldn't say unpopular, but it's unprofitable. Most of the time they recoup their costs from selling figurines like this one I have here, or selling artwork. You know, this is not official art, but you get the idea. Or they get like a game tie-in or something like that. They recoup their costs from these things. Not many people buy the DVDs, and even though I'm an anime fan, the only recent anime I've bought, excluding all my old DVDs, the only Blu-ray I own is this Redline Blu-ray, and that's about it. So what I'm trying to get at here is the fact that Rilakkuma Kaoru or Devilman Crybaby, a lot of these shows on Netflix, even some of the shows exclusives on Amazon, like the one with the vampires, or I think they're vampires, I forget, and then they're trains, and then there's like a lot of steampunk stuff. It's kind of like Attack on Titan. It's like those kinds of shows would not exist without these streaming services. And there's a lot of flack leveled at Netflix and Amazon anime video, like that what they're doing here is extremely anti-consumer, as what they're doing is they're pulling like an Epic Game Store, you know, grabbing all the animes for themselves and essentially creating a monopoly. And then what's going to happen is, you know, if you have a Netflix subscription, you're going to pirate the Amazon stuff. If you have an Amazon subscription, you're going to pirate the Netflix stuff. Not to mention the fact that Netflix, you know, their approach of withholding anime until it's all finished airing, you know, really hurts the show and its runtime, as, you know, fans of anime can't watch. For example, Kakegurui, you know, as the show's coming out, we gotta rely on fan subs, as there's no legal way for us to watch this show as it's airing in Japan, as Netflix holds the rights, and Netflix likes to have their shows dubbed and localized properly before they release their sub versions as well. And all these things are bad, and I can understand why people would be unhappy as a result of these. But my point is, as a result of these big corporations like Amazon, Netflix, dumping a huge sums of money into the anime industry, we've got a lot of really interesting shows. A lot of avant-garde shows that don't follow the typical guy gets hit by a truck, he wakes up in another world, and then there's stats and he has to grind. Or wait, he's actually really, really smart. Or he played the game in the beta and he has his beta stats. We don't get that stuff anymore, or at least we get stuff that's different, and we get some really interesting art styles. And that's my main point here, is because they're dumping so much money into anime, we get some finally unique art styles as a result of having to sell figures, right? As a result of having to sell a lot of art and figures and I don't know, a bunch of other time products. Anime has really homogenized design into such a way that people enjoy it. A good example would be, let's see if I can get it here, like Watamote. The Watamote anime design is very different. In fact, it's a lot more moe. It is extremely different than her manga design. In her manga design, the art style is, you know, really, really different. Her art style in the manga is not so moe, and you would consider her, I would say the anime version is made to be marketable. Like, how do you market an anime about a loser girl who's supposed to be not cute? You know, you can't, no one's going to buy the Blu-rays anyway, right? So you got to make it so she's cute, so people are going to buy the figures and buy the art and buy the art books and stuff, right? So they've changed the design to match that. Whereas if they had the money, like the initial investment, and they didn't have to recoup costs from selling figures, then they could have probably animated her original design. The only instance I can think of where an animation studio did not change the original art design or dumb it down in any way is Mob Psycho. So that's as a result of One Punch Man's popularity. So they knew going in that they were able to keep a lot of the original art. Or sometimes you get stuff like Yojo Senki or No Game No Life, where they have to dumb down the light novel artwork because the light novel artwork is extremely good and there's no way they can maintain that level of quality for that like number of episodes. So they have to change the designs to make it both appealing and cheaply to make. And here's the crux of my argument is Netflix and Amazon Prime, you know, you could say what they're doing is bad. You know, I don't agree with Epic Store, even though I have an Epic account and they stole all my information. But, you know, that's something I have to solve later. I don't agree with it. I don't think these studios should be able to scoop up rights and, you know, force the consumer to pretty much do a console war, but have it be a service war. You know, Netflix fanboys versus Amazon fanboys. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. But you can't deny the amount of the money that's put back into the industry now has really helped anime grow as a medium. We would have never gotten stuff like Baki that's way too violent. We would have never gotten stuff like Rilakkuma and Kaoru as it's too expensive to make, and not to mention that the story is not conducive to what sells well, as what sells well is high school battle animes where power levels just, you know, climb exponentially. Even stuff like Seven Deadly Sins where the main character is not in high school, that stuff is already considered risky because the main character, you know, isn't isekai. Like, he's not like a regular everyday like high schooler, so it's hard to empathize, and therefore technically it'd be hard to produce more fans. It'd be hard for you to self-insert into the show. So despite all that, I still think Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, these services may be the devil, but sometimes we just gotta make a deal with the devil, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully in the future we can find a compromise where these studios can dump more money back into the anime industry at the same time while, you know, letting the shows be available everywhere. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk about how putting money back into these studios has given us a lot of really, really good stuff. I know we're quite a ways into the video, so for some reason I thought I'd stop here and tell you that I am in no way funded by Netflix. Amazon Prime Video is not giving me any money to shill Jashin Dropkick, my favorite show. I own the mangas. Check out my previous video. I'm here to talk about what I see. And this is definitely what I see. I haven't even mentioned some of the shows like Neo Yokio, which was alright, but still worth my time. And then you have stuff like Castlevania, which was really good. Like, these shows, you know, they keep the anime aesthetic. They keep some of the general themes of anime while not being Japanese animation studios. And they're able to, you know, increase the wide range of anime. They're making the genre more legitimate in the eyes of the public, or in the eyes of the norm. You can't deny that Netflix has made anime much, much more popular and enabled the possibility for shows like Castlevania or Neo Yokio, which was okay in my opinion, worth my time. It's alright, you should check it out. And then Castlevania, which is insanely good. These shows would have never existed if it weren't for Netflix able to make anime profitable and make it more mainstream. And you also got stuff like, and you got a lot of diversity. Like, you got stuff like Ultraman that's, you know, 3D CG that, you know, some people, you know, turn their nose at, but sometimes can be okay. You got stuff like Lost Song, which is like a musical anime. You don't really get any of those at all pretty much anymore. Stop motion stuff, Rilakkuma Kaoru, like, you don't get that at all either. Devilman Crybaby, that would have never aired on TV Tokyo as it had way too much body horror. You know, stuff like that. Oh, Baki too, you want to have stuff like Baki, this insane violence. What I'm trying to say is, you know, Netflix has done some shady stuff, so has Amazon Prime Video. They have definitely gated or, you know, done some anti-consumer stuff, but you can't deny the good they've done for anime in general. They've really pushed the medium forward. Anyway, guys, if you've made it this far, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Tell me if you think Netflix is killing anime, or if you think Amazon Prime is killing anime, or anime is just dying in general. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.